Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We are halfway through our second week of distant learning. And although I would rather be in the classroom with all of you, I hope that you are all enjoying the things that have been posted and just these videos and interacting online and all that. And I would love to interact with a lot more of you if that were possible. But we're going to go ahead and start our morning meeting for the day. If you want to go ahead and follow along, we're going to log on to starfall.com. I'm going to do the same. All right. And then once I am there, I'm going to go ahead and click the calendar. All right, and then once we're there, you can go ahead and click play.
Yippee! It's April 2020. Let's make a calendar.
Okay, so go ahead and click that arrow on the bottom right corner of your screen. Now we're going to do the days of the week.
Sunday,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so
what day of the week is it today?
What day of the week is it today? Does anyone remember what day of the week I said it is? That's right, it is...
Great job! Today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020.
Okay, and go ahead and click that next arrow. Now we get to
fill in the missing day and date.
Fill in the missing day and date. All right, so we just talked about how it is Wednesday today. So I'm going to go ahead and take Wednesday and drag it over. And if yesterday was Tuesday the 7th, then what date is it today? Yeah, that's right.
8th.
The 8th.
Great job.
So Wednesday, April 8th. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next part. And this is where we get to...
Mark any special days this month.
Mark any special days this month. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and start with the holidays, the official holidays we have this month. And I am going to use smiley faces to mark these ones, but you can use whichever ones you would like to mark. Okay, so the first day of this month, Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, that was a holiday. And that's the day that has that funny looking Joker or Jester hat, and that you got to hopefully play some friendly pranks on your family members. But I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, because that was April Fool's Day. Okay, so there was no other holidays in that first chunk. So I'm going to go ahead and go to our current week that we are in. And we have 2 holidays this week. So tomorrow, so Thursday, April 9th, 2020, will be Passover. And remember, Passover is that Jewish holiday that just marks the start of traditions and other types of activities like that. And they might eat special foods, and have special ceremonies that go along with this holiday. So I will be posting more information about Passover tomorrow. So if you're still not quite familiar with it, you will learn more about it on our Google Classroom tomorrow, and we'll probably talk about it during our morning meeting tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Thursday, April 9th, 2020. Okay, and then I didn't even realize this. Hero pointed it out to me. And for the parents, those of you who don't know, Hero is one of the paraprofessionals who works with the students. And she pointed out that it is a long weekend this weekend, even though it seems like every day is kind of like a weekend because we're not in our usual routines. But hopefully we're getting into our new normal routines now. But so this Friday, April 10th, we will not hold a morning meeting or a formal school type session, because if we were in school right now, we would be off on this Friday and also this coming Monday, April 13th. So you will not be required to do your work on Friday, April 10th or Monday, April 13th, unless you want to. That's awesome if you do, but I'm not going to require it. But it is also up to your parents what they would like you to do. So, with that being said, Friday, the reason that we have off is we are observing some of the holidays that are happening this weekend. So Friday, April 10th, 2020 is Good Friday, and that just marks the beginning of the Easter holiday celebrations and traditions that happen. So Good Friday is that day that has the cross, the wooden cross with some nails in it. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Friday, April 10th, 2020, because that is a holiday. And I'm going to go ahead and put a star on Friday as well to mark that we don't have school on Friday, even though it feels kind of silly. We have these holidays now that we're not in school, but if we were in school, we would have off on Friday. So then nothing on Saturday, but Sunday. Sunday is a holiday that most of us, I believe, celebrate, but not all of us might celebrate this, and that's fine, because it is typically celebrated by people who practice the various branches of the Christian religion. So, Sunday, April 12th, 2020 will be what holiday? Yeah, so it will be Easter. Usually that's what we also know, because typically Good Friday happens the Friday before Easter Sunday. So, Sunday, April 12th, 2020 will be Easter holiday. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead while we're in the start of this week. So on Monday, the 13th, as I said, we will not have school. So I'm going to go ahead and put some stars on Monday, April 13th to mark that we don't have school that day. Alright, so there is no holidays within that week, but if we jump to the week of Monday the 20th, there are two holidays that week. On Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, that day is Earth Day. And you can see there is a beautiful little picture of our planet Earth. And this is the day that we just raise awareness about how we can keep our Earth happy and healthy for years to come. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, because that will be Earth Day. And then on Friday, April 24th, 2020, that is the beginning, it marks the beginning of the Muslim traditions and holiday of Ramadan. And so we kind of talked about Ramadan previously, and I also posted some resources about it on our Google Classroom, but we will be talking about it more when that comes up. I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Friday, April 24th, 2020, because that will be the beginning of Ramadan. All right, and then we are done with our official holidays of the month, but I want to go ahead and recognize another day of this month because we have a birthday this month. So, if we look at our birthday calendar from our room, January, February, March, April, and Harry, Harry's birthday. So, Harry's 13th birthday will be on Sunday, April 19th, 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and put a slice of cake because I like to mark the birthdays with the slice of cake. But we're going to put a slice of cake on Sunday, April 19th, 2020 to mark that that is our friend Harry's 13th birthday. Okay. So you can go ahead and continue on with marking any special days that you would like, but I am going to go ahead and move on. Now we get to
Choose a picture for your calendar.
choose a picture for our calendar. So there are 4 pictures that we can choose from on the right hand side. There's that picture, the boy and the girl walking in the park, the boy picking up trash at the park, the solar system looking picture, and then the rainy picture. So I'm going to go ahead and pick, I like the solar system one, so that one looks cool to me. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. I'll show you what mine looks like, but yours might look different. So that's my picture for the day, but feel free to pick whichever one you would like. And that marks the end of calendar. So hooray, we did it. So now we're going to go ahead and go to our, if you're following along, now we're going to go to Chico Weather. And remember, we're just looking at the first information that pops up. So just everything within this box here. So Chico, California, Wednesday. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that on the bottom left-hand side, there is a nice light blue colored box around Wednesday. And I'm going to go ahead and draw it here on my whiteboard. That way you can see what it should look like once that blue box. So here's our box, and then we have W, E, D, which is short for Wednesday. And then our picture, or our weather type for the day, looks very similar to what we've been doing this whole week. It's got that big yellow circle that represents our sun. So it must be somewhat sunny. I'm looking outside right now and I do see the sun peeking out. But there are also 2 clouds within this picture as well. So there we go. Got our 2 clouds. I'm getting fancy with my drawing here today. Not super fancy, don't get excited. And then we have our 2 temperatures for the day, and one represents our high and one represents our low for the day. So our highest temperature of the day and our lowest temperature of the day. So I see 78 degrees and 49 degrees. So once you have that box around Wednesday on the bottom left corner, it should look like this. So there is imagine this is blue, a blue box, and then WED, short for Wednesday. Then we have our picture of our weather type for the day and our 2 temperature variations. So we're going to go ahead and go over our highest expected temperature for the day. So if we look on our chart, I'm going to make sure though that when you see, remember those 3 rectangles, one says temperature, the other one says precipitation, and then wind. We're going to make sure that I'm clicking on temperature. So it should look like this. So right here is temperature. Okay. So our highest temperature for the day, right here, what temperature will be the highest temperature of the day? Yeah, 78 degrees. So if we go ahead and look at our temperature scale, let's see, we are 50, 60, 70. So here's 70, here's 75, and here's 80. So I know that 78 has to be between 75 and 80. So I'm going to go ahead and count up from 75. So 76, 77, 78. And we are in this chunk. So that means we are in the warm temperature range. So our expected highest temperature, it's going to be warm today. 78 degrees is pretty warm. Now we're going to go ahead and look at our low for the day. So that is the other number on the bottom here. This number right here. What's our low for the day? Yeah, 49. I almost said 48, 49 degrees Fahrenheit. And if we look at our thermometer, 49. So we have 40, then we have 45 and 50. So I know that it's going to be in between 45 and 50, but closer to 50 because 49 is 1 less than 50. So I'm going to go from 50 and drop down. So 49 degrees Fahrenheit is very close to that cool temperature range, but we are still in the cold temperature range right there. Okay, so now that we've gone over our high and low for the day, I'm going to go ahead and click on, instead of temperature, we're going to make sure that precipitation is clicked on. So once you click on precipitation, remember it's going to give you that blue line of percentages. So it'll look like this. And see how that's almost straight? That usually means that there is a very low chance of precipitation for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and look up above those three boxes to where it says precipitation, humidity, and wind. Okay? So it'll look like this. Okay, so we have our three boxes: temperature, precipitation, and wind. Okay, so it'll look like this, not backwards though, obviously. It says precipitation, humidity, and wind, and then we have our three boxes. So we just did temperature, so we're not doing temperature, we are focusing on that precipitation. So there is a percentage next to the precipitation, and that percentage is 0%. So that means that it is not likely that we will be getting any type of rain today. And you can go ahead and check that by looking at that blue line that shows the percentages, but I'm seeing throughout the day, and yeah, 0%. So now that we've figured out our precipitation chances for the day, we're going to go ahead and make sure that wind is clicked on with those three boxes. So we just did precipitation, so I'm going to X that out. And now we're going to focus on wind. So we want to make sure there's a box around wind. And once that box is around wind, it will show those arrows. So these arrows here, and then there's miles per hour. And this is going to tell us our wind speed variations throughout the day. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this part here. So we're looking, here's our three boxes. We're on wind. We had our precipitation amount. We're going to just ignore the humidity right now. And we're going to look at the wind. And it should say a speed. So right now, it could be different if you're following along later on in the day. But right now it says the average wind speed will be 5 miles per hour. That's what MPH stands for. Miles per hour. So it's going to be about 5 miles per hour today, which is pretty good. It'll be a light breeze. And I'm looking outside right now, and it's not, oh, I just said that this happens every day. I start to talk about the wind and then the leaves start dancing outside. So the leaves were dancing a tiny bit. So yeah, the wind's a little subtle today. It's not going to be blowing you over or anything like that. Okay. So now that we have gone over our temperatures, our precipitation, and our wind, we're going to see what type of weather we're going to have today. So this is very easy to figure out. I like to just look underneath, see where it says. So it says up here at the top, Chico, California. It'll say Wednesday and give you a time. And then it'll say the third thing listed here is usually the type of weather we're going to have today. So, but you can also tell Remember my little fancy drawing? Let's see. Do it really quickly. Those two clouds covering, partly covering the sun. So it looks like this. Does anyone remember what type of weather that symbol usually means? Yeah, so it means that it will be partly cloudy today. Or, and if you're looking for an icon, partly cloudy. So the sun's still peeking out, and I'm looking right now, and the sun is peeking out right now. So, but I do see a few clouds in the sky. So yeah, it's partly cloudy outside. All right. So now we're going to go ahead, and this would be the part where whoever was running weather portion of our morning meeting today would write our information for today, as in our highest expected temperature for today, and then our highest expected temperature for tomorrow. And then we also choose look at what type of weather we're going to have for both days. So, if we think back, today our highest temperature, expected temperature, is 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. And to figure out tomorrow's highest temperature, the easiest way is to make sure that you have a blue box around Thursday, because tomorrow's Thursday. So down here should have a blue box. So here's Wednesday. Sorry, this light's really not working well. There we go. Okay. Here's Wednesday. So there's no box around that. So there's a box around Thursday. And those two temperatures at the bottom. So we have 65 degrees and 51 degrees. Which one of those is bigger? Or you could think about it as which one of those is closer to 100, or even shorten it, which one's closer to 70? Yeah, 65. So that means that because 65 degrees is higher than 51 degrees, our highest temperature that's expected for tomorrow on Thursday is 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and let's now take a look at what type of weather. So both of them, both today on Wednesday and tomorrow Thursday, has the same weather symbol. And it's the same one that we've been basically dealing with this whole week, right here. So it will be partly cloudy on today and tomorrow. So I'm going to just stick that in the middle. So if we were in the classroom, we would have on our board, it says today our high is 78 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, and tomorrow will be 65 degrees Fahrenheit and also partly cloudy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and you can continue on looking at other information for the weather if you'd like, maybe quiz your family, but I'm going to move on to our social stories for the day. And for those of you just tuning in now, we have been talking about arguing and different aspects of arguing. So we talked about on Monday what arguing is, just a general basic idea of what it is. And then yesterday, Tuesday, we talked about when arguing is not okay. And then, so today, I told you we were going to talk about what compromise is. Compromise. So, COMPROMISE. Compromise. So our story for today goes like this. Sometimes when two people are arguing, they can come to an agreement called a compromise. In a compromise, both people give up a little bit and meet in the middle. Deciding on a compromise can be tricky, but it is usually worth it. Okay, so what is compromise? I know I just introduced it, but compromise is when two people are arguing and then they can meet with each other in the middle and come to an agreement. So, we're going to go over some scenarios where a compromise did happen. So, for example, this afternoon, my brother and I argued about what to watch on TV. Mom said we could watch for 1 hour, but he wanted to watch football and I wanted to watch cartoons. We decided to compromise. We watched football for a half an hour and cartoons for a half an hour. Neither of us got everything we wanted, but we both got what we wanted for part of the time. So that was a really great compromise. So it was two siblings, and a lot of you I know have siblings at home. So say you only get an hour or a certain amount of time of TV, and you both want to watch separate things. A compromise would be making an agreement that for half of the time you can watch what you want to watch, and then for the other half of the time you can watch what your sibling would like to watch. So that's an example of coming to a compromise. Another example would be, my sister and I have been waiting for the newest book in our favorite series. We got it in the mail today and we both wanted to read it first. Dad said to come up with a compromise. My sister started reading it while I was at baseball practice, and when I got home, I got to read it while she practiced her violin. It's not as good as reading it first, but it's still a good compromise. Okay, so this scenario was two siblings again, but this time they were sharing one book. So their parents got them one book to share, and they both, of course, wanted to read it first, which I'm sure this has happened to some of us. We all want to use what we get first, but sometimes you can't always do that. Sometimes you need to come to an agreement and share that time with that new thing. So these sisters came to an agreement with this book where if one of the sisters was working on something or busy, then the other sister got to read the book while they were busy. And then once that sister was busy, the sister who was busy before gets to now read the book while her other sibling is busy. So that's another example of coming to an agreement. And I believe that was our short little, that was it. So, what is compromise again? So, it is when two people, it could be more than two people, but just for keeping it simple, when two people are arguing, so you're going back and forth about some type of something. And then compromise is when you can talk it out and come to an agreement, and where each person gives up a little something, where you meet in the middle. So our first scenario, remember, was over watching a TV show with your sibling, where each sibling got to watch what they wanted for half the time, and then the other sibling got to watch what they wanted for the other half. And the second scenario was with siblings again, which is good, like I said, because I know most of you are at home with your siblings. They both wanted to read the same book, and they came to a compromise by alternating or changing around the different times that each of them got to take turns reading. So these are just two examples. There are many other ways to compromise, but these are very straightforward examples. So I hope that this explained a little bit more about compromise, about what the word compromise means, and how, when, or if we are arguing with someone, to come to a compromise. So I will be posting this social story, as I usually do, in a Google slide form on our Google Classroom. And so it'll have pictures and everything with it. And so hopefully that solidified your understanding. If not, and you still have more questions, feel free to ask me about it, ask a parent, ask a sibling, whatever you would like. But this is going to conclude our Wednesday morning meeting, and then we just have tomorrow, and then I guess it's a long weekend, so we have one more day of morning meetings. And parents, I will be contacting you to kind of check in and see where everyone's at tomorrow, while also sending out more information on kind of ways that the other teachers and I were thinking of working out, interacting more with you and your children. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Wednesday, and I will speak more tomorrow. Bye.